Ever-Nude Model U Speedy Twin, 20 horsepower, restored early spring, and this is its first outing on this 1929 stepped hydroplane, and I was pleased with its performance today.
This feathercraft here is the earliest of Feathercraft's runabouts. It's the 1948, in fact it doesn't have a model name, they just called it their runabout in 1948. This one here, 3 years ago, was covered with 2 or 3 coats of paint. The bottom had been fiberglass and resined, and it had the usual damage and things that people do to old boats over the years. It's probably about as good as it's going to get right now. The motor I have on it is a Mark 30 Mercury, which is a lot more motor than this boat should have. It's kind of squirrely when it up on plane. It does about 35 or 36 miles an hour. But in fact, I'll be taking that motor off here as soon as I get it home this time, and I won't be running this motor on this boat next year because it does pound it around quite a bit.
Well, I'm Jim Moffitt, and my special interest is Elgins. And this is one of my favorite Elgins. It's a 1951-52 7.5 horsepower model 751. Recoil start, neutral shift, and it's a very nice running motor. Today we've been running performance trials for 7.5 horsepower motors at our meet today, and this motor was the first one I ran, and I would say it runs about in the middle of the pack. I don't have the numbers with me to tell you the exact numbers, but the motor ran very well. It was about average, very close to all the other 7.5 motors that we ran today.
This is my 1955 Mercury Mark V that I was given today. I am really surprised that I was given it, since it's pretty much the nicest one on Earth that I've ever seen. And its fancy little features it has is, for the gear shifter, it has forward and neutral. When you want to put it in neutral, you press this button, and that pops up, and see, up is neutral, which is when it's running but the propeller isn't spinning. And then when you push it down and it locks in, it's in forward, so it's moving forward. Also, it has this, so you can carry it by this, like down to your boat. And if you press this button in, it pushes a little thingy which makes this in. Thank you, Dad. So, and then this can go down. This is all original, or so I'm told. I'm going to take off the cowls and check the spark and the compression. And then I'm probably going to take off the carburetor, which is in here, and clean it out, make sure everything's good in there. Gonna make sure the magneto works, which is what makes the spark, and check the water pump, which is down here, somewhere in this area. It's here. That pumps the water up from these little slits up into the engine, where it cools it down, then it spits it out this little tube, which you can't really see. See that little pedal thingy right here? Yeah. This is when this is your boat, and this is your boat's transom. See it when you do this, and see it moves it, so then the outboard goes up more, depending, so the propeller spins just right, so you get maximum performance.
This is a 1929 Cayley tractor lower unit racer. the main feature that distinguishes it is the lower unit has the propeller in front of the gear case instead of what's normally seen behind the gear case. They call it tractor because the propeller is actually pulling the boat motor and the boat forward. This is a very rare motor. Now, what we have is a 20 cubic inch motor here. This is a Class B. The feature that Cayley has is they always have priming cups on each cylinder here. Now, this motor has a few parts that have been interchanged. Normally, there are breathing ports here on the cylinders that aren't present on this motor. And you notice when you steer the motor, the power head stays stationary and only the bottom half, the lower unit, turns for steering. This motor is a 2-cylinder, horizontally opposed motor. Both pistons go in and out at the same time off of the crankshaft. Very nice motor. This motor ran earlier today, started well, and it ran well. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Dave Shell from Dartmouth, Massachusetts, and this is my old Indian Silver Arrow. It's a 1930 motor built by the Indian Motorcycle Company in Springfield, Massachusetts, and it was only 1 year that they were produced. 6 months in 29 and 6 months in 1930, and then they were out of business. It was a bad time. They had labor problems, and there was the Depression had just come into full force. So the Indian Motorcycle Company kept making motorcycles, and they dropped the outboard motor. And it's a cantankerous little motor. It originally, a lot of them were hard to start, and but with the help of Billy Angelitis, he got this thing running in good shape. Today, we took it out on the Merrimack River, and it performed beautifully.
Start first pull after a while.
I noticed. I was going to mention that to you. I think she's beginning to get a little worn in.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's limbered up.
Yeah, I think it's at a point of good dependability.
Yeah.
Keith Singh right with him. Really? Oh, there you go. Good job.
Have you ever backed off when you were racing?
Oh, if it's got a finger camera, dude, he's got to get it to hook up again.
I'm just saying.
I'll get this thing to hook up. Get it to hook up, buddy. It turns out like crazy. All right, well, Kevin's going to take us a video.